My friends, gather around the fire. It's time for the Greek god to tell you a story. Let's go back through time. Let's go back through space. To the previous expansion. To Stormblood. I would say if we were in Stormblood, but we're in Heaven's World. Inspired after my chat's request for Greek references and Greek names, I bestow upon you my inner knowledge. Today's inner knowledge will be regarding Lightwardens. I won't speak about innocence. You guys know innocence. You guys understand English, at least, you know, like, I'm speaking in English. I'm hoping you can understand me, right? But what about the other words? Can you pronounce them? I wonder. Can you read them? I wonder. Can you understand them? There are some of them that you can understand the references, like Titania probably refers to the Titans, yes. But today we will not be doing a mentioning. Today we will be doing a deep dive. And it's time to start with the first one. Not Eros, but Philia. The one we do in Holmister's Switch. The one after we defeat Estlin, the Forgiven. Shall we then? Very well. This is the Lightwarden. This not so beautiful lady, not so beautiful creature. But why don't I give you guys a deep dive of what Philia means, of what Philia is, and why the whole story leading to this dungeon moment is a true masterpiece. You see, Philia means friendship in Greek, okay? And why don't I give you guys the meaning, the full meaning of the word, you know? The spiritual and emotional bond uniting two or more people based in mutual love, trust, and appreciation. You see, in Greece, love has many meanings. Love can refer to, you know, friendly love, love between two friends, love between two siblings, love between a mother and a son, love between, well, two significant others. And today, we will focus on two of its meanings, believe it or not. One of it is Philia. Philia comes from, it literally means friendship, you know? Philos means friend, okay? Now, why do we go down this rabbit hole, and why do I believe this is super important? You see, what is Estlin? A friend. When you defeat Estlin in Holmister's Switch, what does she say? What is the title? Estlin the Forgiven. For before she dies, before she gets turned into not a Lightwarden, into a Sin Eater, what does she say? Forgive me, Alizé. And Alizé forgives her. It is about friendship. It is about love between those two beautiful young ladies. You know, it is about the purest of pure loves. And what perfect way to end this dungeon than to have a boss which is literally translated to friendship. Other than that, we are right here and I have Holmister's Switch right in front of you guys, so that I can speak about this lovely, lovely ability. You see, this ability is called Taphiphobia, and it comes from two words, Taphi, which means burial in ancient Greek, well, in modern Greek as well, and phobia, fear. So if we go and we approach this from Taphophobia, which is the modern Greek version, it comes, as I said, from Taphos, tomb, and fear. It is the psychological fear of being buried alive. Yo, holy shit, holy flying testicle Tuesday, thank you for the 1,500 bits. Good and Dave, I truly appreciate this, bro. Thank you. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ για αυτό το donation, για αυτό το cheering. Σε ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ από τα βάθη της καρδιάς μου, σημαίνει πάρα πολλά για μένα. We're going to continue though. By the way, about the etymology of taphophobia, it is the irrational fear of being buried alive. If we go back into the ability, player targeted circle AoE. It has an AoE damage to target. I'm guessing it is the one that tries to engulf you, you know? And nobody wants to be buried alive. This is the ability, it is what it is. Now, second, you guys mentioned in the chat right here, and probably in the comments, because this will make it onto YouTube, that Titania is from a Celtic mythology IIRC. It might be, but the Greek man is going to see Greek things, right? I don't have depth. I don't have a depth into that one. But what I can tell you is, it has to do with size, okay? It's a size reference. I cannot speak about the Fae. We don't have Fae. We have Nereides, indeed, in Greece, yes. We had it all the way back then, and I don't believe that the Fae concept existed before, our concept. Not because our is better, but because, well, ancient Greece, right? But the important part, the thing I want to focus here is that, and the only reference I could find is, you see, Titania. What are titans in ancient Greek? Titanes, okay? Titanes were the mythological figures that ruled the world before the gods took over, right? Zeus and his brothers, Poseidon and Hades, dethroned the Titans, and they themselves seized control of creation. They created what they wanted to create, and they ruled Olympus as they saw fit. Maybe this is a stretch, but all I'm saying here is a size reference, because Titanes were enormous. You guys cannot even fathom the size, just picture something, you are so small, okay? Just think that the gods were tiny in comparison to the Titans, and we are minuscule in comparison to the gods. We can't wrap our conscious minds over how enormous Titans were. And, well, all of the Fae are tiny, but Titania is massive. This is the only knowledge I could find towards you. The abilities that Titania uses are not Greek by any means, so, as I said, it could be a stretch. But we are going to move past Titania, and we're gonna go to our beloved Eros. What is Eros? Ladies and gentlemen, Eros is love. Wait, King Shiny, didn't you tell us that Philia is love? You see, Eros is not exactly love. Love is agapi, and agapi has many forms. There are many forms of love, but Eros is the intense, the sensual, the romantic love. Intoxicating, passionate, something that cannot be denied, something that is, in English you would say it as the state of being in love, of just the thought of your significant other intoxicating your mind. This is Eros. Also, of course, it's not just that, is it? No, you see, it is a Greek god. It's this beloved, adorable, and one could say annoying creature that has a bow and some arrows, and if you poke, well, you get in love. You fall in love to the person in front of you, or to the person he wants you to fall in love with. This, well, of course, it is an ancient Greek statue. Let's go with the Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, Eros was the winged god of love, okay? He usually correlates to goddess Aphrodite. You see, Aphrodite was the goddess of, I don't want to say the goddess of sex, but she was the goddess of carnal desire. You see, you don't have to be in love with someone to want to fuck them, okay? And Aphrodite was all about the scandal, all about the goddess of beauty, you look at her and you are so mesmerized, This is the part with Aphrodite that Aphrodite had to do. Eros is in a much more psychological, deep level. You just cannot get enough of the other person, not because of how scandalous their body looks, but because of how drawn you are to them. According to the mythos, when he shot with his arrows to people, they would fall in love, paraphora, beyond comprehension. Eros is labeled as invincible in the tragedy of Antigone. You cannot deny him. A deep level, like going deep. You would assume that this is a stretch, Demonite, but it is what it is. Let's go to the meaning, to the etymology. You see, Eros comes from the words erame, erao, like erastis, lover, right? It might be pro-Hellenic areas. What is erotas? The state of love, and here you can see how you can use like o eros, of love, to erotos, to eroti, ton erota, o eros, and this is the second cardinal sin that we meet in the Kitana Ravel. Now, there are many ways in which I have interpreted this situation, this lore moment in the Kitana Ravel, because we had met the V's, right? Now, I don't know if they were scandalous, if they were deep into the sensual reproduction and love and passion and whatever, but one could not deny the loyalty they had to the emperor. One could not deny the love Emet-Selch harbored for his kin when he tells us about the story of Zodiac and Idalin. One cannot deny the love in the atmosphere. And even though we try to deny them, well, it is what it is. The story is the story, and he tells us, you know what, you believe me, you don't believe me, you do what you will, but this is what it is. This is the first time, if I recall correctly, that we see the writings on the wall, the figures, the mystery of, you know what happened? Are we so sure that we know the full of it? Or it might just be a reference between how scandalous the male Viera are towards female Viera, if you guys know about the Final Fantasy XII lore. I don't know, okay? This might be just it. I will leave it for you to interpret. You see, this is the beautiful thing about what we are doing here. You take 100 people, and you will have 100 different theories, and all of them can be beautiful. They can. Might some of them suck, okay? But, you know, they all have the potential of being beautiful. And this is the end of Eros, love, passion. But of course, it's not just it. You see, the boss, Eros, the Lightwarden in that particular dungeon, he does one ability that I am suspecting you guys cannot pronounce, but it is okay, worry not, for I, Greek god Shiny, am right here, and I will translate. This is pronounced as glossolalia, which comes from the Greek word glossa, tongue, and laia, speak. Okay, speech. In English, you would translate this to shriek, screech, you know? And it makes sense that it is a moderate party-wide damage, because after all, if I come and shout very, very loud, I do this annoying and irritating screech, hey, you're not gonna enjoy that, will you? So when I say that it goes deeper than you think, I'm not miming. It does go deeper than you think. And we have one more. We have one more beautiful, lovely, adorable Lightwarden. The one that I would have you never pronounce that. You see, this is Storge. And Storge means affection in Greek. Storge means it's not just affection, it is the affection of the most pure form. For example, η στοργή της μητέρας για το τέκνο. The στοργή that mother has for her child. How much Greek has there been? You have no idea. We're merely unwrapping. We haven't even started going down the rabbit hole, my friend. I have been fascinated through the entirety of Shadowbringers, and Storge is one reason why. How would you pronounce that? Storge? Surge? You can't, but it is Storge. And Storge is an unparalleled type of love. Storge is, you cannot feel Storge for your wife. You cannot feel Storge for your beloved. Storge is something that it's so poetic. It is untouched. You see, it is an unsoiled meaning. It is our being. We are sinners. We are flawed creations. And the only true passion, the only true Storge that you can have is the one mother or the child. We would associate in Greece Storge with the moment that the newborn is, born, and the mother takes the baby in her arms, and she just looks at it, and she's full of tears. Well, androgynous because, birth. But the important part is you focus on the intimacy, right? And here comes the actual meaning, Storge. Love and Triferotita is affection, or one could say cardinality, I guess? Triferotita is... How would I even begin to translate that? Triferos is affection, it's loving, it's caring, it's magical, okay? And this, of course, it takes place in the dungeon of Malika's Well, and this is the only one that I found an approach into this. You see, I was not entirely certain how this happened, but hear me out. What happens right before this happened? Before this turn of events? You see, Rin, Malaka's Whale. No, it's not Malaka's Whale. It's not Malaka's Whale. Don't do that. Don't ruin it, okay? But up to that point, up to a few moments before that, we had, Philia. We did not have Rin yet. We had the kid, but her name was not Rin. No, it was right before that she was born as Rin. And this dungeon ends in Ilmeg. If not does it end in Ilmeg actually? Am I pulling stuff out of my ass? Correct me guys, I'm not really sure. Or does it end in Amarang? If it ends in Amarang, it is poetic because it ends where it began. If it ends in Ilmeg, I guess it's not as poetic as I had in mind. I did not really manage to find a lot of connections, but the important part... Oh, it's Amarang. Okay. Meg is before all this. If it's in Amarang, then it's even more poetic than I had assumed. Because think about it. Philia started in Amarang. How? With the Sleen. With the Sleen. And then we have Storge. True affection. Do with it as you will. But I think this is enough for today's Greek time. This is enough for the lore deep dive with the ancient Greek god. But wait. I have a few other interesting parts for you. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you, first of all, and if you enjoyed these types of stuff, please leave me a comment down telling me that, or like the video, or subscribe to the channel, because this is something that I never found on YouTube, okay? I actually searched, and I never found on YouTube, I couldn't find it, and I think that I might be the first one trying to do something like this. If I am, and if you guys enjoy this, one like, one subscription, one comment will let me know that you enjoyed that, okay? I can see the analytics, I can see the metrics, you know, and yeah, like, thank you for watching. That's the important part.